Let me show you what I'm doing today. I just wanted to spend a little bit of time out in the shop getting some of this wiring sorted out on this 3D printer. Let me show you what I'm going to do. Welcome to 3D Accuracy, where I'll talk about 3D printing, 3D product design, and 3D injection and die-cast mold design. I just put this three-phase converter in here, and I have the idler motor on the floor, and the idler motor is too noisy. I don't like it. It makes enough noise that I can't even hear when the air compressor is running. That's how much noise it makes, although this is a very quiet air compressor. So what I want to do is I need to get this out of the shop, and I'm not really prepared to do that. So I'm going to take an interim step. And by that, what I mean is I'm going to take this guy and I'm going to put him all the way over there behind this machine in the corner over where the sub panel is on the wall. So what I need to do is the wire that runs, there's a 10 gauge wire that runs from the idler motor up into the panel, into the three-phase panel, and it's connected in there. So what I want to do instead is I'm going to run another wire along with these, another 10 gauge wire, and I'm going to run it up and over and around the shop and get it back over into that corner. And then temporarily, I'll have the excess wire rolled up and I'll have the motor sitting back here. And at some point when I'm prepared to move it, I'm going to move the idler motor the other side of this wall outside. But I have to either purchase or build an enclosure to put it in and find a good place to go through the wall and get it on the other side so I can get it out of the shop. Temporarily, I'm just going to set it here so that I can use the machine. I can use this 3D printer until which time as I move this guy completely out of the shop. But I want to get it away from here so that I can get the air compressor in position. I can put the transformer up on top of the air compressor, and I can kind of get it organized so that I can use this machine and be done with this corner, because I don't want to leave the motor sitting here and move everything there and then have to reach over and make a big mess to get at the panel and redo all the wiring. I want to do it while it's easy, and so I'm going to get that wiring done today and then have a interim step with this motor and move it out of this position. I'm making some progress. Let me show you what I have so far and what I plan to do with what I have so far. I've moved the idler motor out of the way, moved the air compressor over a little bit, pulled the 3D printer out from the wall so I could tuck the transformer behind it there. That way I have enough room to get my ladder in here so I can get up above and work this cable here. Now, I do have the new cable run. You can see it going up and over and all the way up to the top and across the shop and over the little rails there for the door to run on and down. And there's the cable sitting on the floor. And I'll have all the extra on this end because I don't know exactly how much I'm going to need, where exactly I'm going to go through the wall, how much cable I'm going to need on the other side. So I want to leave all the extras here, and then later on I'll cut and do what I need to do once I get the idler motor moved outside. So for now, what I'm going to do is, you see I've fed the cable. Let me get over here where I can get a good shot at it. You see I took the cable coming in and I went behind the other cables up there because I want to tuck it up against the wall tight. Went over the top of those two outlet boxes, and I'm going to run it. Now, I still haven't decided whether I'm going to tuck it in along the top and attach it somehow, maybe with zip ties, or whether I want to come underneath it and put a little single clamp to hold the cable in place. So that's the plan of attack. I'm going to start putting that wire up, and then once I get some of that finished, I'll show you what that looks like. Made some good progress, but let me show you what I took care of so far. There's the new wire. You see it coming. Here's the end of it here, and this is going to go up and inside the box, but for right now I just have it long enough that I know it'll make the loop on the bottom with the other sets of wires there, and I have enough to work with and make all the connections I need to. So I've got it behind the clamps. I put it up here, took all the clamps off and repositioned everything and got the wire tucked in with the clamps that were already there. Came all the way down this side, and I decided instead of trying to put that wire above the other bunch of cables that was there, I decided to put it underneath with a standalone single clamp just holding the wire in place. I thought that would be a little bit better. I like the idea of clamping it rather than just trying to hold it up there with zip ties to the other bundle of wire. I didn't think that would be a good idea. So I put the new clamps in, and I'm all the way over here to the corner, and you can see I have that clamp kind of half on, half off, and I've got the wire tucked behind it. I just got to put a couple of zip ties to kind of hold it in place and give it a little bit of form up there. But I got all the new clamps in to this point, and then all I have to do is bring this wire down and just temporarily position it alongside the box. And then the end of the cable is right here. So there's the other end right here. So once I have this all finished, then I'll bring the motor over here. I'll go ahead and pull the motor. Well, first I have to get the cable clamp so I can redo the wires in the box. And then first thing I'll do is reposition the 8-gauge wire that comes from the sub panel to the phase converter box. I'll move those connections over to the other hole. Then I'll bring in the new cable that'll go to the idler motor, remake those connections, pull this old wire out. Then I can move the idler motor, and I'll leave the wires in it because they're all connected in the right position. You know, the red wire goes to this group, and the white goes to another, and the black goes to another. And so I got to make sure that that is correct. So I'll move the motor over, and then I'll open up the little box on the side of the motor, and I'll redo the wires and connect it to this cable, and then I'm all set. I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you're ever in need of 3D product design, 3D injection mold design, 3D die-cast mold design, or 3D printed prototypes or production parts, please feel free to contact me. You can find contact information in the video description. I look forward to hearing from you and to being of service to you. Thank you for watching. As always, I appreciate it. See you on 3D Accuracy's next video.